Hi all. Today we are discussing about the control statements. Last session we had seen about the data types and a few identifiers and a few concepts we had seen. So let us start. So control systems in the sense, first we will see the definition. A Java program normally execute from top to bottom, but if we want to control the order of execution of the program based on the logic and values, we use control statements. So the thing is that if we are executing any program, few steps it need to execute, few steps we need to control, like it need to check whether it will be correct, then only it need to execute like that, or else it need to do execution continuously in the same body only. Like see, if we are taking one example, if this body one, so it need to check like if whether here this condition is passed, then it no need to go here, so then directly execute something here. So or else if it is failed, so then it need to go to the here. uh, this is the one scenario like that. If anything is there, if any in this body is some code we need to execute multiple times, it need to iterate, it need to do cross check, or it need to check multiple times, so execute multiple times, then it need to check here, after that it need to check here. So by the some logic and some control, some concept, by using that one we can control that statements, like how many times it need to use, and what uh, what the thing we need to do, like it need to validate, or it need to execute multiple times, or it need to shift, or it need to swap, like that we can by control statements we can use this one. So if you see here, class abc, abc is a class name and the class is a um, keyword, you know, this public static void main string args. So here body 1 and body 2 we had seen. So if you go to the so what are the types is there in the sense, first one, selection or conditional statements will be there. If else if, nested if, switch. If you know the C or C++, this these concepts you will have some idea regarding this one. So if by using if else if, nested if, switch, these things will comes under like for if statements and all, it will check like whether the condition is true or false. If the condition is true, it will execute the inside the if part. If the condition is false, it will go to the else part. So if the condition is true, so it will go to the again one more else if part. So if it will check like if the condition is there, first condition it will validate. If first condition is not validating, so it will go to the second condition, else if. So it will validate second one also. If these two are not validated, so directly it will come to the else part. So like this it will be done. So if you go see the second one, iteration or looping statement. So here I said like if multiple times it is doing iterations, or multiple times it is doing execution. So if for statement, while, do while, this and all will be done in the same body, it will execute multiple times and it will give some data. By controlling some statements, we will get what exact output we need. I like if any pattern programs will be there, or any like palindrome program, this type some programs will be there. By iteration multiple times, it will give multiple values, so or multiple symbols, then it will, as per our requirement, we will modify that one. You will get to see in future programs and all. So if you see these jump statements will be used for break. If any statement is there, we need to break it and it need to execute another step, or it need to go some other line. It will using break continue. If you are having some exception error also, it need to continue. Some errors will be there, then also by using continue we can run. So return option is there. So it will return some, right. Selection or conditional statements. Selection statement allows us to control the flow of programs execution on the basis of the outcome of a expression. Therefore, contained statement that can be a block of an if statement only execute when the specified condition is true. If the condition is false and there is not else keyword, then the first contained and execution continues with the rest of the programs. The condition is an expression that returns a boolean value. So as I said, like if the first contained statement, that can be a block. If an executed if statement, if the statement first statement is executed, then a specified condition is, if this one if statement is true, then it won't go to the another statement, it will execute direct this body script only. So this is the thing, like if the if condition, if this condition is satisfied, in the sense it will execute this one. If this condition is not satisfied, in the sense it will go to the directly else part. That is, I'm trying to explain you guys. The simple concept is that if statement will do validate true or false, like boolean, it is condition is true or false. That's why boolean having validating part. If else part, this it is also same thing only. This one in if else statement, if the specified condition in the if statement is, if this condition is not satisfied, it will come to this one. So it will run execute this project, this one only, this body part only. So like this, if else statement, so if statement is the true, in the sense it will go if it is false, it go to the else if statement. If the else if condition, if else if condition also is false, then it will directly go to the else part. If else if part and if part is true, this both will be executed. So here if you see the flow chart, first it will start the program, so it will go to the case 1. Case 1, it will check it is validating or not. If it is validating, if it is true, in the sense it will go to the case 2. If it is case 2 also true, in the sense it will come to the outcome, like result, it will print or something, what we are required now, that will be executed. If case 2 also fail, in the sense outcome 3, so it won't execute it. So if see, they're having it three scenarios, output will come like output 1 or output 2 or output 3. If that one first scenario, if case 1 executed true, uh, then outcome is outcome 1. Like as it, if statement condition is true, then it will directly come as to the um, outcome 1. So next it will check like case else if also condition true or false. If else if condition true, in the sense it will come as outcome 2. If else if statement false, in the sense it will come outcome 3. So they're having scenario like first it will check first if condition, next else if condition true or false, it will validate. If it is false, in the sense directly go to the else if else part is true, in the sense else if part condition will be executed, that error will be nested if statement. Nested if statement, in the sense inside if condition, again one more if condition we can write. So that is a nested if. Inside if condition, again you can write as a if condition. Like see, if this is one if condition, if this condition is satisfied, it will have a scenario like if you are giving one more scenario, one more if condition inside this one. Like see here, if condition we had given inside this, one more if condition we had given here. So like this, if condition is executed, again inside that if condition, what and all if conditions is there, that also it will check like executed or not. So if this one's condition 3 had been executed, in the sense it will give the statement directly to the statement X. So if it is false, in the sense it will give the, it won't give any statement and all. So like that. So if it will check the, see, this is a if condition 1, this is a if condition 2, this is a if condition 3. First it will take true or false. If it is a false in the sense, it will come to the conditional 3. If it is true in the sense, it will go to this B will be executed. Like that will be connected to the statement X. In statement X, all values will be there. So what and all we are trying to execute and what and all output we required, it will validate. Like if A is equal to 2 or 3 value you had given by default, if A is values are same in the sense equal to C. So like will be a going. Like if you are checking the switch condition in this one condition is like a it will execute or it will move on swap the steps. Like if it is it had been started, it had been executed one code. So next it will execute one code and it will break, execute one code and it will break. Value. So I like that. So it will be validating or it will be calculating one by one, then only it will be executing. So it will if you see definition in the sense, you will get a more idea. Defines multiple paths of execution of a program. It provides a better alternative than a large series of if else if statements. So if you can understand, I guess, if statement in the sense it's having a branch statement. This switch statement defines multiple paths will be there. So of execution of a program, so it will execute like I said, like core core value two, like default value. It will execute multiple paths. So now we are seeing the iteration or a looping statement. So in iteration statements, the same code fragment executes till a specific condition is specified or satisfied. Iteration statements execute the same set of instructions until a termination condition is met for each loop will be covered in future of Java in different versions tutorials. If you see this for statement or for condition, have for state for you need to give initialization value, condition and increment or decrement. Like if initialization value I is equal to 10 or I something, you need to give here 10 or equal to condition here, you need to give a condition also. So like this, first you need to initialize one value. Int I is equal to, like if you see initialization in the sense, int I is equal to 0 or else int I is something data you need to initialize and you need to give the condition, that one. So that value should be limit how much, so how many iterations it will be done. So by each step, like one for each iteration it need to increment or decrement. So it need to increase the iterations or it need to decrease the iterations. So that that the code and all we are reading in the body. So if we see here, if we start the execution, we are giving initialization like int or any data we are giving here. So it will code checking. So code checking in the sense body it will check. So what is the conditions we had given, it will check that conditions. So it will run that execute, it will execute and give the statement to that conditions. After that next iteration it will go, next it will go. So if we this code had been executed, it given a value and it will go to the increment or that value should be increased or decreased. Again one more iteration will be done by executing this program. Again one more input output will come. So again it will do like this, its cycle will be there. So the same body it will multiple times it will do execution until how much we had given the uh, condition. So how many iterations it need to be done. So we had given that condition. So by this we can get to know that one. So until this it will be executing only. If you see the while statement, the while loop continuously execute a statement that is usually be block till the condition if true. The condition must return a boolean value. So while statement in the sense while also it will execute multiple times. It will do iterations or it will do code execution multiple times. Like if you see here, we had given like condition it will valid it will need to iterate like 5 times or 4 times. If we are giving a 5, so it will iterate like 6 times. Why? Because it's starting from 0, 0 1 2 3 4 5. So like this. So this will be for iterations and all completely concept will be there, like it will execute or it will run the code in the inside the body multiple times. How many? By the how what we had given the requirement or what we had given the instructions, it will follow that one. If you see the do while statement, in do while loop, first statements are executed, then it check the condition, then do while loop will execute at least once, then it depends on the condition whether to execute statements again or not. So first it will check like condition had been executed or not. First it will execute. For many of the interview questions also they will ask like what is the difference between while and do while statement. So while it don't require to execute once, it continuously it will directly it will come and keeps on executed the program. But it do while at least once it will be executed, then only it will start the following the instructions and all. As you see in definition also, if a do while loop first statements are executed, then it checks the condition, then the do while loop will be executed. So that loops and all will executed after the executed the condition only. But while it won't require not, it won't need to execute first and then it no need to go to the loop one, it will directly go to the loop condition. So if you see here in the sense, if first condition will be do, uh, do value here will be there, this body it will validate this one condition will true or false, like or else if loop will be go how many times we require. So then it will check the while condition. So it will while condition also validate in the sense it will execute the program. So how many times we require. So let we see the jump statements and all. So jump statements are used to unconditionally transfer the program or control to another part of the program. The return statement is used to immediately quit the current method and return to the calling method. If it is mandatory to use the return statement for non-void methods to return a value. So if non-void methods in the sense return values are non-void methods. So void, as we said, public static void, I said like void is a return value. Return should, it won't return any value, zero. So like that, if a return value will be having something, so it will return something. That's why return statement is used immediately quit the current method. So it will quit the current method. And statement in non-void, conformly we need to use in a non-void methods return value. Why? Because if it is calling some value only, then only we can get to uh, get the execution. Immediately quits the iteration. If how much iterations is there, something is ongoing. So on that time also, if you are still using the first statement following, and another form of a break is used in the switch. To the rest of the statements and the body of the current iteration. So if running any program, it is keeps on going the iterations and all. So you need to skip this one, or else if next execution, if you are executed core value 1, if you are going to the core value 2, okay, core value 1 it had executed multiple times, and core value 2 is not executed, some error it is showing, even though it is showing, it is giving any encapsulation error. So then you need to execute that one. So override that uh, error. So you are using the continue keyword. If you need to escape from there, like if it is iterations or multiple times, so it's going to, you need to stop, in the sense you are using the break keyword. If you are using the return value, any return value is there, so non-void methods is using, so then you need to use the return keyword. So these three keywords we are using for the jump statement. So to swap or to move any statement, we are using these three methods. Thank you for seeing this video. So next further videos I am planning to give the basic programs and all. So I am planning to give the basic programs in a such a way that as a PPT only. Why? Because to understand, we need to highlight some lines and all. So let's see. Hope next video will be good and better.